welcome to Tales from the Forgotten Troop. We are back with another episode of 1904. Glad to have you. Few announcements before we get things going. So, first of all, thank you to everyone who got us to send 10 subs in September.
Woohoo!
We met our goal. Yay! Very good. I've forgotten everything I need to say. We do have a community challenge going on, so if you want to donate your blood drive credits to get us that one shot with the SVB cast and dragons, that is still going on. I think we're getting close.
We're like 64% or something.
God, we're 77% raised. Jesus.
Woohoo!
Okay, so that might happen soon. Yeah, already.
Let's get it done, guys.
We are also Hero Forge affiliates now, so if you want to pop down in our About section, you can click the link on Twitch, or if you're watching the VOD on YouTube, there is a link in the description as well. And also in other YouTube news, you can catch us live every week when we do stuff. You can follow us on Twitter or the Discord to see what's going on. We post reminders and just have lots of general fun. Yeah, so I believe that covers all of that. We'll go around and do some quick player introductions, and then we can kick things off again. So I can go ahead and start. I am Charlie. I will be playing Edgar Borenson this evening. Jenna, why don't you go next?
I'm Jenna, and I'll be playing Mickey O'Leary. They, them pronouns. And yeah, he's just a ball of mystery and chaos.
Wonderful. Tony, why don't you go next?
Oh, I am Lakshmi Nadal, and I am a chief engineer on the airship Halifax, which is, I guess, temporarily stationed at the World's Fair.
Very nice. Melissa?
Hi, I'm Melissa, she, her. I've got meditation in my mouth, and and I play Calla Whaler, mighty steamboat captain of the Mississippi. Rawr.
So
I
mighty.
have medication in my mouth.
You're good. So mighty, so fierce. Danny.
I'm Danny, and I'm playing the character Dr. Baggins. He, him pronouns, and he is a young man of 19 who worked at a circus and he also helped take care of the animals and calls himself a doctor because of that, as well as a
very, very skilled doctor, the most skilled.
Yes.
No one else so skilled. And EP, you can tell us who you are and kick things off when you're ready.
Sure. So my name is EP Isaacs, and I am the conductor or game master running this adventure, and she, her pronouns. Now, in order to get us started, what I'd like to do, same thing that we did last time, would one of you like to do a recap or do a group recap of what we went through last time to get us back into the game? Going once, going twice.
All right, I'll do it. All
Right.
Next time someone else is doing it, though. All right, because my recaps are really kind of convoluted. All right, let's have fun with this, though.
I feel like I wouldn't recap the first half of last week's game very well, because it's basically just observing.
The first half, we were just walking around, minding our business at 4 a.m. on the streets of St. Louis, like you do. And and we got called in for some eggs and bacon at this
Yeah.
place. We met this guy, Edgar. He likes mechanical things and is some sort of pilot, and is British. And also, then we went to the bank. Oh, we found a body in the alley. There was a
Like
note
one
on the
does.
body and a key. And then we decided to go to the safety deposit box because it looked like a safety deposit box key. And we went there, and it wasn't at the first bank, but they told us where it was. So we went to that bank. And now the doctor and Mickey are stuck in a vault. Cops or Pinkerton agents are maybe outside. And everybody else is in the lobby, and I don't know what's going on with them, really. We have some contraband. It's pretty suspicious. Might get in some trouble. And in previous episodes, we beat up a Pinkerton agent, so they like us. Good times.
Thank
I
you for
need
that.
to unlock the body.
We found a body.
And so, given that, Jenna, feel free to give yourself 2 NSPs,
Woohoo!
collection points.
Excuse me.
Everybody else gets 1. Now, before we get started with that, I'd like to, because I have a feeling how this is going to go down, but we'll see what happens. Tony, remind me your character's name again.
Lakshmi Badal.
Okay, so Lakshmi is going to sit this one out until I tell you it's time to come in. Okay. All right. So, given where Jenna left us off at, so you've got 2 of you that are inside this bank vault, and of course, for those of you who are not inside the bank vault, you have, I would say, probably 8 officers that are, and of course the officers have their badges out, and they're saying, hello, we have some questions for you. Do you have any weapons on you?
No.
Okay, so for your friends that are inside the vault, do you mind calling into them to see if they would be comfortable coming out and joining us?
Well, I can certainly try. And I guess I'll go over to the vault door
Mm-hmm.
and knock on it and say, Dr. Baggins, Mickey, can you come out here?
Can we hear?
I think I checked it. It was locked, so no.
We can't. Yeah. It's shut.
Okay. And you say this loud enough for them to hear outside.
Yes.
Yeah.
We are
So-
locked in the vault.
The agent then says, the agent that's doing the talking says, okay, let's get one of the tellers. We'd like to take all of you down to the police station for questioning. And so the teller comes over, unlocks the vault, and of course, as the door opens, you see 8 2 police officers and 6 Pinkerton agents standing outside.
Told you they had it out for me.
And so once the door opens and they point toward the exit, and they say, if you would, please follow us. We'll have a wagon come by, and it'll take us down to the station together.
Okay.
Are we under arrest?
We would like to question you regarding why you are here. And
Because my mother, she died, and I needed to get some stuff out of her vault.
Okay. And we'd like to ask you some questions about that down at the station.
Alrighty then.
Do any of the rest of you say anything?
I just sort of shrug and say, let's get going then.
All right. So, wagon comes along. All of you, they point to the back of the wagon. Say, go ahead, get in.
Okay.
All of you, I assume, get in the wagon.
I guess so.
Yep.
Two of the Pinkerton agents get into the wagon with you. And the door is shut. And as soon as the door is shut, you hear somebody say, "Giddy up." And of course, the wagon starts bopping along, pulled by horses. And Pinkerton agents are just sitting there next to the door as you're rolling on along. Do you do anything?
I ask you,
Feel free.
should I talk about the key?
Do you talk?
Pinkerton agents are right there. They're right there.
Did I talk? Okay.
They already know about the key. That's how they found us.
Alice doing the smart thing and keeping yourself too busy to talk.
With your
Alec, you're not also a lawyer, are you?
With Agent Cap, who's also a lawyer.
Both captain and lawyer.
I have a certificate to prove it.
It's a piece of paper that says I can do what I want.
So
I think she's been in this situation before.
after about 15 minutes, the wagon comes to a stop. The doors swing open, and the two Pinkerton agents look at all of you and say, "We're here. Get out."
No.
Say please.
The Pinkerton agent looks at Mickey and says, "Please get out."
All right.
So you get out, and you're standing in front of a building that looks like if you straightened it up and made it just a little bit nicer, it would look like a castle.
Hey.
And so you see two giant doors set in the front, and the two police officers that were with the Pinkertons say, "Follow us. We'll just take you straight on into the rooms. We've got some officers that want to ask questions of all of you. Ask the questions individually. And so once we get done with the questions, you'll be free to go."
Okay.
And so I'm going to assume that you follow if nobody says otherwise.
Yeah.
And you all get split up.
Of course.
All right, so going to jump over to Lakshmi very quickly. It's about, by this point, 10 o'clock in the morning, Tony. Lakshmi is used to Edgar. Coming back from his walk or his run in the morning, reporting in, of course, to the ship, to the hangar. The two of you going over, the day's maintenance for the airship. Edgar is not there. And this is the first time in the past, I'd say, 10 years, the two of you have been serving together on different ships, that Edgar has ever missed showing up for the daily inspection.
Who's the next in command?
What's that?
Who's the next in command?
So you would, given the fact that the two of you are directly responsible for this airship,
Okay.
The next in command, and given the post that you have as well, given the fact that you have a post acting as chauffeurs and using this airship, the next in command would be either the governor general of the consulate or the consular general, or you could also report if you wanted to the hangar commander.
Okay. So I assume that I'm either doing a walk around or I'm in the engine room or what have you, and
Yeah.
I climb to the ground and find the hangar manager and ask if they've seen him for the last time they have seen him.
Yeah. So the hangar manager says, yeah, he checked out about 5 o'clock yesterday afternoon.
Oh.
And yeah, he hasn't been in at all today, which is totally not like him.
Yeah, that's unfamiliar behavior.
Yeah.
Who would I go to? I'm asking him to possibly get permission to get a party together and look for him.
With the skeleton crew that we've got, we've including the Marines that you have serving aboard your ship, we've got maybe another 5-6 support staff here right now. We're winding down things here at the fair, as you know. I could spare a couple of the support staff to go with you if you wanted to go looking for him.
Sure.
And so he takes and he turns over to some of the ground crew and says, well, he turns to them, says a couple of things to them, and they almost immediately say, yeah, where do you want to go, Lakshmi?
Let's see. Out of character, what do I know about him and his habits, his recreations, or what he might do, what might draw him away from the site?
So that's something that Charlie, really quick, and this is something that the two of you have a chance to hash out, given the fact that the two of you have served together, if you're comfortable with this, Charlie, for about 10 years. At this point, what are some of the things that you think that Lakshmi would comfortably know about Edgar? What he likes to do, hobbies, anything like that?
I imagine unless someone basically runs him off to take breaks, I kind of imagine him as a bit of a workaholic. So even when he's not on duty, he's always messing around with something or tinkering or just checking over the ships. I imagine like his walks or runs are definitely nightly or early morning activities. And then when he has to have downtime and is basically put either like forced off the ship and be like, go have fun around town, or secluded to his room, like stop working, take a nap. He probably would either go to like some small bookshops or the library and just read.
Now, and what's Charlie? What's your character's name?
Edgar.
You're Edgar.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm Edgar.
So you're the person I'm looking for.
It's me.
It's you. Okay, I know about that. Now I turned to the hangar manager and I asked, was there anybody else seen with Edgar, or was Edgar acting abnormally?
Yesterday afternoon?
Yes.
Yeah, not that I know of. He took and he made sure that the lines were secure, and there's no wear on the skin of the balloon. But the main balloon. Other than that, he didn't really say much.
Okay. Now, would it be proper for me to look through his cabin?
I think in the middle of the day, especially if you had an escort,
Yeah.
being the two gentlemen that you have with you,
Yeah.
I think that wouldn't be a problem.
Okay. And so, in official capacity, I'm going to take these two crewmen and go to Edgar's cabin and see if I can find any clues.
All right. So you get to Edgar's cabin, the home that you have listed for Edgar, Charlie. Edgar is staying in a small apartment.
Oh, okay, not on the ship. Okay.
Yeah. And so, well, yeah, if you wanted to go to the actual, well, that's a good question, Charlie. Would Edgar actually stay on the ship? Or would Edgar want accommodations off of the ship? Given the fact that you're going to be here, you've been here for about a month or so.
I'd say they probably set up accommodations off the ship, but he probably often splits his time between the apartment and being in his cabin on the ship. So it could be a little bit of a toss. If he's not in one place, it's likely he's in the other.
I think that's fair.
Okay, I'm still gonna take a look at his accommodations aboard the ship.
Okay, and so we'll start there, and then as Lakshmi is going through the accommodations on the ship, Charlie, I'll have you describe what Lakshmi and Lakshmi's party would find, and then we'll jump over to the police station.
Yeah, so I'd say it's probably being in essentially military service in some capacity. It's probably very neat. Not a whole lot of personal belongings, but the bed is made. There's probably a small stack of books there and a suitcase that's shoved underneath the bed. And probably a hanger that's hanging from a hook but is not currently occupied by anything. Most likely that's where he'd hang his jacket if he was there.
Okay. And so I looked through the stack of books to see whether there's anything telling there. Is there anything that would seem out of the ordinary? What kind of stuff is there?
Definitely some mechanical books, some engineering things, just trade material. So there's probably also a fantasy novel, probably like a western.
Oh, Penny Dreadfuls.
Supposed to say at the bottom of the stack is probably like a cheap a dime romance novel too.
Oh, that's amazing. I love it.
Oh, you stole my
like
heart.
The ones you'd find in airport bookshops.
Garage sale romance novels.
Yes. Yep.
Only the best.
The highest quality.
The highest quality Bobbins Ripper.
Basically everything's normal as far as the books go. Is there anything out of place? Is there anything that might be left behind that wouldn't have been left behind? Is there anything anomalous?
Well, okay, before you answer that, Charlie, Tony, do a prowess based, and the way we're going to do this, just so that you have So, what is Lakshmi's awareness?
Let's see. 2.
2? Okay, so tell me, witches, dwarves, or trolls?
Witches.
Okay. And so, yeah. Charlie, go ahead, and if there's anything that you think is out of the ordinary that Lakshmi would pick up on as she's going through with these 2 assistants in the apartment, feel free to describe anything that you think would really pique Lakshmi's interest.
I think it might be noticeable that he's very protective of his tool bag and what he uses, but I think it would also be a little strange that it's not on the ship. It's not in his room right now. Yeah.
So his personal toolkit's missing. Okay, that definitely piques my interest.
Maybe there's also a
go ahead.
stub for a theater ticket stub. There's a little show going on, and
Lewis.
Yeah, that's fair.
So
okay. So yeah, I turn to the crew that I'm here with, and I ask them, do you see anything? Because if not, I'm thinking that he's doing something related to something mechanical or engineering. His kit's missing, and so I'd like to take a trip into his flat where he's staying and see if there's any other.
We can follow you there. One of the gentlemen says, we can definitely follow you there, but after that, we probably need to get back.
Right. Okay. So I set up somebody to, I don't know, cover me for the time that I'm missing, and the next on down the line. And do I know what the address and everything is of his flat?
Yeah, the hangar manager gives that to you.
And I take off with the 2 crewmen.
All right. So you take off for Edgar's flat, and for the rest of you, let's jump back to the 4 corners. All of you are set up in individual rooms. The individual rooms all are brick. No paint on the walls, no nothing. There's a bench with a table and a bench on the other side. Each and every one of you are apart in a room exactly like that. Who do we want to start with first? Dr. Baggins, Edgar, Nikki, Kala.
I think Kala should go first.
Going once, going twice. Yes, Kala goes first.
I was about to say I could go first. Mine will probably be the least interesting.
I've just met these people. I have no idea what they're doing.
All right. So, Kala, the individual that comes to talk with you is balding, has a slight pot belly. He looks like he's maybe about 45, 50 years old, graying at the temples. of the hair that he does have. And he smells slightly of booze.
Oh,
And,
he has no business being there.
and he looks at you and he says, good morning. Who may I say are you?
Kala just points at her unlit cigar.
And he says, what brand is that? May I see that for a moment? Okay, so you hold it out and he reaches for it. Do you give it to him?
She just whisks it back like, what? You want to take this?
Witches,
But
dwarves.
no, she doesn't take that. She doesn't say that though.
Witches, dwarves, or trolls?
Witches.
All right. So as you pull back, he reaches out, grabs the cigar from your hand,
Rude.
and lights it up and starts smoking it. So he says,
Cold.
again,
So rude.
what's your name?
And Kala just starts spouting nonsense.
Can you speak English? You can't speak English. Do you need medical assistance? Well, we'll let you think about my name, and he points to himself, is Officer Cooper. What is he? Okay. All right, we're going to jump to Edgar. And there is an officer that comes in, very neatly dressed. You see very crisp uniform, shiny lapels, has a nameplate very prominently displayed along with the badge. And the name on the nameplate says Stevens. Officer Stevens looks at you and says, good morning, how are you?
Oh, not too bad, not too bad. It's been a bit of a slow one. Good
Okay.
breakfast, though. Saw the sunrise. Nice walk.
What would you have for breakfast?
Oh, bacon. Bacon sandwich.
Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with bacon. I like bacon myself.
Never said there was anything wrong with it. Delicious.
And so I understand that you met our officers at the Old National Bank. Why were you there this morning?
I made some new acquaintances, and they had errands to run. Mickey, I don't really suppose they're a fella. Mickey there had a safety deposit box to check out.
Mm-hmm.
Along for the ride, basically.
Okay, and so let me see if I get this straight. So you met these individuals, and you just happen to go along with them to where did you meet them
Over breakfast.
at? At their home, your home,
Cafe.
cafe. Okay, and do you remember where the cafe was located?
Let me check my notes.
That's fine.
If I wrote it down. I did not write it down.
See, do you remember where the cafe was located?
Would I be able to accurately describe and give directions of where it was?
Yeah. I mean, you could give a rough description.
Okay.
You know, yeah.
I will do that.
All right, and he's like, okay. So I'm not aware of any place over there that's open. Well, what time did you say this happened? That you met up with them for breakfast?
Ooh, was fairly early, but a bit of a special case. They kind enough to let us in before the doors opened.
Okay. And so, do you know why was the safety deposit box that Mickey was going to check on, that was hers?
I don't believe it was there specifically. Something about inheritance, a dead mother, that sort of thing.
Okay. And so, all right. Where are you from?
England. Came over on the ships. Doing some work.
So you're a British citizen.
Yeah.
Okay. And you just happen to meet up with this group that decided to check on a safety deposit box for one of the group's dead mother.
Basically, I was out for a walk. Held the food.
Okay. All right. Well, do you have your passport with you?
I do, and I'll pull it out and show my papers.
Okay. We'll happily let you go, sir. Very sorry. Yes. Have a great day.
As well. And
by the way, before I let you go, I've been writing down what you said. Do you mind just signing here, swearing that what you've said here is true?
Not at all. And before signing, I will read over it
Yeah.
to make sure it's accurate.
Basically,
it's a confession.
A rough description of where you were at fairly early for the time, where you were just wandering along and you met up with this group to have a bacon breakfast, and then you decided to follow the group as they went to check one of their members' dead mother's safety deposit box. And the officer, before he lets Edgar go, also says, if you don't mind me asking too, where are you staying?
Usually I can be found at the fairgrounds I'm assuming each of the ships has a name, like regular ships. So
yeah.
I will let them know what ship I am a part of.
Okay. And so they say, well, the officer Steven says, how long will you be here?
At least until December 21st.
Okay, thank you. And so they go ahead, open up the door, and walk you out. All right. So now, who goes next?
I suppose I can go next. This will be fun.
All right. And so, officer comes in named Officer Porter.
Okay, so it's not the guy I beat up previously.
No.
That's good.
Officer Porter comes in, and just like Officer Stevens, he's very well dressed. And Ramrod Straight comes in, looks at Mickey, and says, "Good morning."
Morning.
So I was told that you were at the Old National Bank checking on a safety deposit box.
Uh-huh.
And whose safety deposit box was that?
Oh, I don't know.
You don't know?
Mm-mm. Nope.
Oh. And so
Seems like you probably know, though.
why were you there if you don't know whose safety
Found a
deposit?
key. I was curious.
Oh, and where did you find the key?
In an alley, like you do.
Okay. And was the key under a rock, or was it, in a
It was
puddle?
on the ground.
And where exactly on the ground was it?
I don't know. It was like 4 a.m. I was pretty tired. I haven't slept in a while. It's been a while, all right? I don't really know. The place that I was staying, it blew up, Or you should
Really?
be doing something about that. Should be doing something about that. What
Where
is
were you-
being done about that?
Where were you staying?
I was staying at that old church guy's.
Church guys?
Yeah. The one with the bed and breakfast hostile thing, whatever. I mean, it was a place. It was on fire. How many places have been on fire besides the fair? There's a lot of fires here. You guys should really do something about that.
And did this happen?
It happened yesterday evening, I think. I don't know. We rolled up to the place we were staying and it was on fire. And then we were like, well, oh shit. And then we just walked away and we've just been walking, wandering around,
So it sounds like, have you been having anything to drink?
Had some coffee. I
Uh-huh.
think I had some whiskey, maybe?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Hmm.
Seems like we probably had whiskey.
All right. So if I have your story straight, you happen to find this key,
Mhm.
random key on the ground, 4
Yeah.
a.m. Did you?
I mean, I don't remember if it was at 4 a.m. that we found the key. I'm just saying that, like, it was like early. It was real early or late. I guess it depends on your perspectives.
Of course.
It's all about perspective.
And so, are you from St. Louis?
No.
Okay.
Came to see the fair. Then it blew up. You guys got to do something about that. What are we doing here? You should be doing something about the fair.
All right. So, and he's writing down.
Drunk on his. That person is very drunk.
Can you sign your name?
I read the paper.
Do you have languages 1?
That's a great question.
Where are stats?
What do I need to have languages 1?
So
well, what's a stat?
look at your skills.
Oh yeah, I don't have languages. I can't read.
So you can't read. So he says, can you sign your name?
Nope, illiterate.
Okay. Can you make an X?
What does an X look like again?
And he goes ahead and he takes a scrap piece of paper and he draws an X. Can you do that?
I could try.
Okay. So he takes and he hands you something that you see a bunch of squiggles above it. And there's a line, and he points to the line. He says, draw an X here.
Okay. Draws an X across the squiggles. I did it. See? My mom would be proud. My mom would be so proud. You know, she's dead. You know, she's dead.
Okay,
My dear mother is dead, and you don't even care.
He starts all of what was previously on the paper, and he's just sitting there. So, and he produces a line with the pen, hands you the says, draw an X right here.
Draws a very large X right there.
Okay. So he takes back the paper and says, okay, we'll be back in just a moment. Thank you. So
do I get to leave? Are there snacks? Can you give me a snack? I need a snack.
We'll talk to you about
I drank a lot of whiskey this morning, you know.
And
I don't think I can technically sign things, but okay.
He takes and he leaves. And so, okay, now, Dr. Baggins. Dr. Baggins is in the room, and this older woman comes in and sits down and says, son, how are you?
I'm okay.
Okay. So,
Thank you.
tell me what's going on. My name is Officer Glantry.
I got locked in a safe.
Okay, and it doesn't sound like you've been having a very good day.
I mean, I've just been walking around town trying to occupy ourselves, and yeah, it's not too bad.
So you've been living on the street then?
Well, recently our living situation got changed to where we don't have a home.
Tell me about that.
We our house got burnt down that we were staying at while we were here for the events happening.
When did that happen?
Whenever it happened.
Whenever it happened?
Not yesterday.
What time yesterday?
I wasn't around when it happened. I just came back and the house burnt.
So did you come back yesterday evening? Did you come back yesterday morning? Did you come back?
My memory sucks. Was that evening?
And so
yeah, in the evening.
Okay, and
Sorry.
Where was this?
Can I point in a direction that would make sense? Over there.
So you she brings out a map, and do you point roughly on the map where McCready's house would be?
Yeah.
And she goes, "Wait a minute, you're at McCready's?"
That was our house. That was our boarding. Yeah.
We found his body.
What?
So when was the time that you saw him?
When would I have seen him? I was already there.
You would have seen him last, like, Saturday night before you went to bed.
Okay. I saw him last Saturday night before I went to bed. Woke up. He'd already gone to church, as he do, and I met these other people, and they are boarding there with me, and we decided to take an outing and check out the fair, and the rest is history. We came back from that and found our house destroyed.
Would you
Or-
would you vouch for everybody that was?
Well, I mean, not every. I mean, most of the folks that were with us. I believe Edgar was not with us. They weren't staying with us. But yeah, I would vouch that they were all with me.
Okay. And did anything out of the ordinary happen while you were traveling with them and before you noticed that your boarding house had burned down?
The fair had some weird stuff going on. There was a whole lot of noise and people running, screaming. So we kind of got out of there as well because that was a little freaky.
Where did you stay at the boarding house Sunday night?
No, we found some other people who were freaked out about the noise, and we hung out with them. I don't think there was much sleeping going on with all this craziness happening.
Who were these other people?
I think it was a bar or something that we went to. I don't know the name.
So where was the bar located?
There.
Indeed.
Yes.
But as truthfully as you remember, do you point?
Yes.
Okay. Describe the bar to me.
It was bar-like. No. It was. Let's see. Yeah.
Who owned the bar?
Sheesh. I don't know the people here. Shoot.
Who is tending the bar?
I try to describe the person.
What do you say?
There was a largely built person, right?
Okay.
That's who. Is that? I'm getting all my situations mixed up. That's a large person.
About how large?
Yay, hi.
You describe.
Sometimes accurate as much as I can. I am terrible at this. Sorry.
We haven't slept in like 2 days. It's terrible.
So, yeah. And so, son, if you don't mind me asking, so why were you at the bank this morning?
Well,
what drove you to the bank?
We were trying to help a friend. We found a key.
Where did you find the key?
And so we were thinking we could try to figure out what was going on with this key that we found.
Did you find the key at the bar?
No, it was on the ground somewhere.
And do you remember where it was that you found it?
And I say in the alley by that, wherever we found it.
Okay.
You know?
So she says, did you find it on the ground? Was it on a ledge? Where exactly was it in the alley?
It was on the ground, like plain as the eye can see, or in. We were like, that's interesting.
Okay, and what told you to use this key on the lockbox that you
Oh yeah, it was in this paper.
paper?
There's a paper.
What paper?
Shoot. Where is that paper? I don't know. Do we have the paper anymore? Let's see. I don't know where the paper is, but there was a little paper with it, and it had a number, and we just like, I wonder if this is what it is, and we wanted to figure it out.
Where did you get the paper from?
It was with the key. It was wrapped up in the key. The key was wrapped up in the paper.
Okay. And you
Who knows?
and at this point is Edgar Charlie, is Edgar walking back to the airfield?
I think he would probably be waiting at the station to see what happens with everyone else.
Okay, so about 15 minutes in, an officer comes out and says, "Sir, if you would, we're very sorry. We'd like to ask you some more questions."
All right, sure.
Okay, so you are brought back into a room. The rest of you are individually taken to a holding cell for the time being. And
So that's a yes. We're under arrest. That's a yes. We're under
That-
arrest.
So yes, as you're being walked back to the holding cell and ushered in, another officer, a captain, comes back and says, "Do any of you have anyone in the area that you would like for us to pass a message on to?"
No.
So we're under arrest. Yes.
Yes,
For what?
you are being held for 48 hours for suspicion of involvement in the murder of a local to our city.
Whoa! Who got murdered?
And you are persons of interest
Who got
Mm.
murdered though?
in the murder of Paris McCready.
Oh, you should talk to the Pinkerton guys. They can verify our alibi for the World Fair.
Okay. Well,
Because they were definitely there and they saw us and they were there. Yeah. You should talk to those guys.
and we will. We will.
Mm-hmm.
Promise you. So,
Great. I'm going to go to sleep then.
is there anything else that that you want, that you need?
Yeah, I said snacks.
Okay, we'll get right to any way, and they lock the key.
Probably coffee too. Well, no.
Hmm.
Hey, we get to sleep, guys. That's pretty great, right? I mean, when you need a place to stay, just get arrested for 48 hours.
Yep. Ella runs up to the door, rattling it. And she goes, "Hey! Hey, yo bendigo! Mariachi para la-"
And so,
I'm used to back at the tent.
and so they
Four
they
walls.
go to talk to Edgar and say, "So, sir, you said in the statement that you gave earlier that you were going to check on a lockbox from the dead mother of one of the individuals that you were with. Is that correct?"
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Okay, and whose mother would this have been in the group?
It was Mickey.
And how did you know this was Mickey's mother?
That's what I heard them say. I didn't have any sort of verification or anything.
Okay. And so, where were you on Sunday evening between the hours of 10 p.m. to 5 a.m.?
Parts of that I would have been on the ship. Was having some trouble sleeping, so I was doing some reading, and then probably around 3-4 a.m. I went out for a walk.
Okay. All right. Well, what and then you ran into these individuals and you heard them say that they were going to investigate one of the individuals, Mickey's mother's lockbox. And what do you do for a living, sir?
I'm an aeronautical engineer and pilot.
Okay. And you serve in this capacity for the British Empire, is that correct?
Yes.
And you are here in the United States at the World's Fair as a British officer, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. And if I am understanding this situation correctly, your involvement with these individuals did not start before around 4 or 5 a.m. this morning.
That's correct. Ran into each other at the cafe.
Okay. And so what, you are free to go. And we still maybe be by at some point to question you more in relation to your traveling companions. Do you have a superior officer that we would need to contact before we reach out to you?
Out of character, would there be someone like that, or would they just be able to talk to me directly?
Yeah, they would be able to talk to you directly.
Okay. You can just...
You might want to send word to the consular general just to let them know. And the consular general at the fair is an individual by the name of Lord Waltham.
Ford, what was the last name?
A lord, and then the last name is Waltham. WALTHAM.
Lord Waltham. Okay.
Okay. And so they say okay, and they bid you good day.
Okay. I'll probably be a little slow in making my exit. Probably not so fast getting out, like get out on the sidewalk and then just kind of eye the building a little bit. Because that box is inside that I want.
Prison break, prison break, prison break.
Oh, and so yes, so as you're ushered into the cell, they go ahead and they do an inventory of the items that you have on you.
You found a lot of rocks in my pocket, brah. You found a lot of rocks in my pocket. That's it.
So
maybe it's like some paper clips and things like that.
Does
some
anybody,
random junk.
Does anybody have anything out of the ordinary that they would find on your person? Going once, going twice.
Besides the box.
Yes.
Ricky.
So they go ahead and they take the folded note, because I assume one of you still has it.
I think it's in Kalla's bag.
They take Kella's bag. What's in Kella's bag?
So much stuff that we shouldn't have.
Well,
many,
let's see.
so much
In there would be.
contraband.
Let's see. Well, there wouldn't be any. I could tell you what, there wouldn't be any alcohol in there because she's already drank it all. Let's see. Did I? No, I didn't. I didn't put anything in my equipment. I mean, oh, she would have a. She would have. What's it called? Dang. I think she would have one more cigar,
Mm-hmm.
a tarot deck, and what else? Probably probably one rock hard piece of hardtack.
Okay.
Just does.
Doctor bag.
All right. Anything
Normal
else?
doctor things in it.
A little morphine, a little, something.
That's not even on the boat. That's
Leeches.
on the that's at the drop off point.
Don't ask questions.
But,
All right.
But yeah, right now Cal is not even talking right now. She doesn't want to. She doesn't want to. She doesn't want to contradict her own story.
Mickey's
Alright.
just
Or
yelling
what
about
passes for it.
snacks, and you better not mess up my rocks, dudes. You better not mess up my rocks.
Those are my rocks.
Those are my pocket rocks. They're very important to me.
And so, if they were to go through Kella's bag, they find the box.
Bitch.
Shit. Should have handed it to Edgar.
She was still holding on to the box at the time, wasn't she?
Yeah.
Yes, she was. She was.
Yeah.
That
well, you had
would
shown
be
it
in the
to
bag.
Edgar, but yeah.
And the meeting notice,
I
and
think the doctor might have had that.
yeah, the doctor
Okay.
did have that.
Cool.
I didn't have nothing but rocks. There ain't nothing illegal about rocks. I demand to be let go.
And so, yes,
For some reason, I thought that the note had the number on it, but no, the key just had a number on it. So
Yeah.
we assumed
Yeah, the key had a number on it.
it. Oh well.
Now we have
I should have said nothing.
no notes.
What note? Oh well.
Just eat
so
it.
this is
While they're asking about it, just, that was nothing.
So
No.
Kala would have a hymnal, a large hymnal, for whatever reason. But
I love it.
But you unlock it and you open it, and a lot of the pages are cut out to fit a flask, which is empty, of course.
I love it. This is amazing.
Yes, alcohol.
so we're going to take and fast forward a bit, because the four of you, let's see here. Actually, no, the three of you, Mickey, Dr. Baggins, and Kala, pass by the rest of that day. You pass by that night. You pass by the next day with bread, water, and a bucket.
This is inhumane treatment. If there's something, I'm going to start knocking it against the bars. Just being the most annoying prisoner they could possibly have. Just obnoxious when I'm not sleeping. It's like
The only thing that you have to beat against the bars is because they just toss the bread at you, and you've got your bucket.
I've got shoes on still, right?
Yeah.
Then I take off one of my shoes and I start just through the bars. Just
Okay.
Just obnoxious. Obnoxious.
That's fair.
Cal is just holding her head.
Cal's got a horrible hangover.
And we are going to fast forward then to Edgar,
Nah.
who I assume at some point, as Edgar decides to head back to his station, runs into Lakshmi.
Not there.
I'm
So
surprised. We were out looking for you.
Why? Is there
Yeah.
something that needs my attention?
Well, just afraid that you've gotten into trouble, run into a bit of bother.
No, just out for a walk. Mine couldn't rest. You know how it is. But had a good breakfast at a cafe. Are the other officers with Lakshmi, or are you alone?
So one of the other officers at this point is with Lakshmi. The other one would.
The other one had to go back.
Okay. I met some new people.
Mm-hmm. Interesting new people?
Yeah. Is it nearing lunchtime at this point?
Yeah. It's actually, by this point, I'd say probably around 10:30, 11 o'clock.
Okay. I pat Lakshmi on the shoulder and say, "Why don't we go grab a bite? And I tell you about it."
Fair enough. And does the other crewman stay with us?
At this point, the other crewman says, since Edgar's been located, do you want me to stick around?
That'd be up to you.
I think we've got this covered. I think we're good now.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So he takes and he says, if it's okay, I'm going to head off back toward the hangar.
Okay.
He takes off.
Wave him off.
Okay, so do we find a public house or a restaurant?
Is there are there any places that do like little takeaways, or is that not really a thing quite yet?
Not really.
Okay. I'd probably just try and find a quiet little cafe or something where we could set up in a corner away from people.
Yeah, no problem. So you go ahead, and as you're walking along, you find a little German restaurant that's open, and they don't have much business with the way the city is at the moment. And the owner says, "Yeah, if you just want to sit back, we've got some tables back in the corner here. We'll leave you alone."
What's on the menu?
The owner says, we've got some soup, we've got bread, several different selections of bread, cheese. We've got some different selections of cold cuts. We've got four different types of beer, and we got. If you wanted it, we have some milk. But the Pilsners are really good. And so, and he points to the menu. He said, if it were me, this is what I'd take. Our pumpernickel's really good over here. We can go ahead and bring out a meat selection for you, especially some of the smoked meats that we have. And then, of course, in terms of soup, we could go ahead and we could do, we could try to do a nice chicken noodle for you.
Okay. I'll take I'll take whatever's good and whatever you can bring me for an
So
early.
and he says, "Okay, I'll be back," and he leaves.
And would you, Edgar? Do you have a cash on you, or would you like to have something to eat?
I think start with a bit of a drink first.
Mhm.
Coffee or tea.
Okay, I offer to pay for it. And so, what's the story?
I'll give a brief breakdown of that morning, how I just happened upon a cafe and met some people there who were having breakfast, and I had something to eat too. And then I'm getting into the later part of the story, just sort of lean forward across the table and say, one of them had a rather interesting box on
Hmm.
and something that might fetch a pretty high price from the Germans.
Hmm. So was it something mechanical? What was it?
Looks like a little doll.
Hmm.
One of those dolls the CSA's after.
Hmm. So it's an automaton, or is it a toy?
It's not a toy.
Hmm.
It's not like the newer automatons though either. Spyware. You know.
Hmm. Interesting. Is this something that I don't know? Do you think we should report it, or should I keep my mouth shut?
I think for now it'd be a good idea to keep our mouths shut. Maybe keep an eye on this group and see if we can't get our hands on it.
Hmm.
Dun, dun, dun.
It could be, there's a chance that it could have just been a regular doll that got slipped into the box, but there's a chance it's real. Could be worth a lot.
Very dangerous. So
What else are we gonna do? Stuck
yeah.
here for another month.
No. I dream of the food of home.
Dream of a good cup of tea.
I dream of a cup of tea, period. So tell me about the people that you met.
Well, there's 3 of them. Mickey, who is good at fabricating some lies. Ala, who knows how to sail ships and might have a screw or two loose. In this day and age, who doesn't? And a fella by the name of Dr. Baggin, who not really sure how good of a doctor he is.
Hmm.
Miscreants.
Do you think we should set up a time to meet with these people?
Last I checked, they were being questioned by the police. So might be a bit before we know what comes of them.
too obvious to put up bail for them?
Possibly, especially since I told them that I just met this group this morning.
Ah. Well, they haven't seen me.
They've not seen you, but if you go in, we might need to come up with a
Another.
decent story as to why you're there.
Yeah, and then coordinate it with theirs. And, there'd be no way to do that. Perhaps we should keep an eye on them, just in case. Was there any sign that they might be released soon?
Not that I know of. Kind of before any sort of decision was made, I was put on my way first. Have an inkling it might not be going so well since they wanted me to answer some additional questions after I'd first been let go.
Wonder whether we should we should call in somebody who's trusted to keep this from becoming an international situation. If anything, Britain should have this doll.
Maybe. Maybe. I want to know how it works.
I do too.
And I don't know what the higher-ups would do with it if they got their hands on it first.
Yeah. Now, my engineering mind also wants to get a look at it and see what kind of engine runs it. If it's a spy instrument, does it have a camera? Can it record on cylinder? What is it? Does it move on its own?
If it even works at this point, it might be broken.
Even if it doesn't work, it might have some technology that would be beneficial, or would it might do to keep it out of the hands of the Germans, say.
Definitely don't want to get it back in their hands, that's for sure.
No. But what do you think about the what do you think about the Americans and in the interests of their Secret Service and their private security and all that? Do you think that they'd have an interest in it?
They definitely would. They'd probably pay big money to get their hands on it. Want to also look into it and keep it from spying on them.
And where is it now? Do we know?
In the police station.
Break? What do you say?
Suppose anything's worth a shot at this point. What else are we gonna do?
I like the way you think, Captain. So let's plan this. Is there anyone else that we can trust?
In general or on our own crew?
Either or.
Well, EP, is there anyone else that we might be particularly close with on our ship?
No. All of the other officers and Marines on your ship have been serving with the two of you for about the past 6 months. Most of the people that you would have served with prior to that have either decided to retire whenever the two of you decide to stay on, or during the time of your service, they've passed. So you've got virtually an entirely new crew, which is one of the other reasons why the two of you are as close as you are.
So, what we need to do is know how the building is laid out, where they might be keeping the doll, where your friends might be billeted or imprisoned.
I'm wondering it might be too suspicious to go back and ask after them.
I don't know. Since you came in with them, they would probably assume that, that would be a natural thing to do.
Possibly, or they might think something more is going on. True. I'm suddenly concerned with these mostly strangers.
Oh, Cal is strange, all right.
They're going to be suspicious no matter what. They are cops.
That's true.
And we are, as they say, foreigners.
Maybe just... No, maybe we could just keep an eye on the place for a little bit.
Okay.
I don't think... They are being kept for a while. It's going to be a waiting game no matter what. Better... I don't think they do anything right away. If they were going to do something, they would have done it by now.
True.
So maybe just keeping an eye on things, observing, and see what comes out of it, and see if we can't devise a bit more of a plan in the meantime.
I say we head back to the airfield and get some work in. Maybe get a little sleep, and then go back and take another look.
Good.
Or we could hire somebody to watch the place, but then there's another person.
I think getting as few eyes on this as possible is the best option right now.
So heading back.
Sure.
All right.
All right. So you head back to the airfield, and it starts approaching the evening of the 22nd. And moving on through the evening of the 22nd into the morning of the 23rd. Starts moving toward noon of the 23rd. And you know that Thanksgiving Day, if the police station was going to be lightly manned, with the United States being the way that it is, they've got this holiday called Thanksgiving coming up. And so if at any time during the year that there were going to be fewer officers on staff, it would be either Thanksgiving Day or Christmas. And so what did you say?
Puppy.
Okay. And so you start moving through the 23rd, Wednesday the 23rd. You start moving into the evening of the 23rd. You start moving through the evening of the 23rd into the morning of the 24th.
Okay, we should probably make some plans.
Okay.
And do we know about this holiday? I mean, has
Do
there?
do either of you have knowledges of one?
No.
Okay. Do you have? If you don't have knowledges at least at a one, do you have
I have knowledge of two.
knowledges of two?
Yeah.
Okay. Which is dwarves or trolls?
Dwarves.
Okay. All right. So yeah, you know that you know everything that I just said. If there's going to be any time during the year that you would have fewer officers on staff, and so if you were going to do anything at the station, it would be easier. You'd be looking at either Christmas or Thanksgiving, and Thanksgiving is just 2 days away, or at this point, 1 day away. And so if you're going to do something at the station, chances are the best time to do it would be on the 24th.
Okay. So maybe we should get down there and watch it and make a plan to see if we can get in. How would we do that? Through the front door, through the roof? How well do you know the building from having been inside?
How well do I know the building?
So Edgar would be able to describe, of course, the front entrance, the courtyard that he was walked out of. He'd be able to describe, like the rooms which are just off of the main entrance, where he was questioned at, and he assumes that the others were questioned in rooms nearby. Other than that, Edgar unfortunately didn't, well, fortunately or unfortunately, depending upon how you want to look at it, didn't spend enough time in the building and enough places in the building to be able to tell anything more. Because once they realized that Edgar was a British citizen and that Edgar had papers, they didn't want to have anything to do with him.
And how many of the people who are imprisoned from Britain?
So in this particular prison, you would assume that the number of people in the jail would be a handful at most,
Yeah,
if any at all.
Well, I was just wondering if
the
people who were in the group that Edgar was associated with, how many of them are not Yanks?
Mm-hmm. So in terms of any of them being British, so they didn't say anything or let on that they were British whenever they were talking with Edgar.
Okay.
And Charlie, you may remember more. Feel free to share anything that you remember.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not really thinking of anything else.
Okay. So if the two of you want to work out what you're going to do, feel free.
So we could go in as I'd say we could go in as emissaries from Britain, which sort of are. And if they are not interested so much in getting involved with people from other nations and causing some kind of international kerfuffle, we might take them under our wing. Maybe they're working with us. maybe they're working with the British government. We'd have to come up with papers and all kinds of other stuff, or at least a good alibi. I'm going to the good alibi at this point. And is it worth risking our?
Could, as far as an alibi goes, could say that from my brief encounter with them, the Consular General was interested in having a meeting. If that can't get them at least on temporary release.
Okay. You say we go in and try.
We should probably have some sort of written notice first. Doesn't have to be official, but something on paper.
There's something that we could get from the airfield, or should we go to a local printer? Plates. That would take a long time. So why don't we?
Probably find something on the ship.
Why don't we see if we can find some paperwork on the ship that looks reasonably official? They're not gonna know.
Probably not.
Suggest that we make up the names of whoever might be responsible. Otherwise, we might be getting ourselves in a lick of trouble. But,
yes.
Yeah, then there is then there are the reps, the representatives from Britain, and that might give us, a little more. I don't know. It might make us seem a little more legitimate.
Should probably have as make it look as realistic as possible.
Okay. Well, let's go to the offices and see if we can get in when there's not too many people around, or set up a distraction and see if we can grab a bit of paperwork.
And so, when are the two of you doing this?
As soon as possible.
Yeah.
All right. So, let's see. Would you say that if you're trying to get in and look for paperwork, would you be doing this the afternoon, the evening of the 22nd, sometime during the 23rd? When exactly would this be?
Yeah, let's do it during the evening and see if we can't, sneak in. Would things be locked down at a clerk's desk or what have you? I don't think it would be.
So, what I'd like for the two of you to do either of you have hide and sneak?
I don't.
Okay.
No.
All right.
Go on.
Do either of you have crafting?
Yes.
All right. And what level of crafting do you have, Charlie?
4 because of my intellect.
4.
Got it. And so, all right. And so, what type of objects do you specialize in with your crafting?
I would think, fine tools and things like that.
Okay. So what I'm going to allow both of you to do, instead of using lock picking
Mhm.
through hide and sneak, I'm going to allow you to use crafting as a stand-in. So I'm going to make you do a couple of different rolls here, or a couple of different checks. Witches, dwarves, or trolls, and either Tony or Charlie.
Captain.
Okay. Trolls.
Okay. All right. So yeah, any locks that would necessarily be in the way, you're able to breeze through. Right? And so in terms of actually knowing where to go, do either of you have any knowledges that are focused on investigation, investigative training, law enforcement, anything of that nature that would help you, or bureaucracy or anything like that? What are your knowledges in, Tony?
Let's see. I don't think I ever, wrote them down. I have two.
All right. So for Lakshmi with knowledges, what is her knowledge geared toward? So does she have more of a knowledge based on geography, history, mathematics? Are we looking at, if not mathematics, are we looking at the sciences?
I'd say the sciences.
Okay. And so what, either one of you, if you wanted to do a prowess-based awareness check or a knowledges check, feel free.
Okay. If I've been in the military that long,
Yeah.
it's been over a decade.
Yeah.
I would probably have, knowledge of military history, probably, how military forces are arranged, and how labor is apportioned, and who does what, and how the big red-coated bureaucracy works. So that's probably something I would know.
All right. So is what your, because the way that skills work is that you start off with this very, very broad skill set, and then you start to funnel it down.
Okay.
And so if you had this very broad skill set, and then for your second level, you have knowledge, very general knowledge, but then you're focused more on cultural knowledge or knowledge of cultures. Yeah. And so from that knowledge of culture, then you could say at the third level, that if you continue down that funnel, you have knowledge of culture, and that culture is specifically geared toward bureaucracy.
Okay.
Right. And so, so if we were to say that Lakshmi has, for that level 2, that second level would be in knowledges of cultures, then yeah, that would certainly apply to this.
Okay.
And so, all right. So what I'd like you to do then, witches, dwarves, or trolls?
Trolls.
All right. All right. So yeah, you're able to find, since you're able to get into practically any lock that you want, you're able to find the papers that you need. They look relatively official. And at this point, with the fact that, does Lakshmi have languages at least 1?
Let's see. Yes, one.
Okay. So yeah, the two of you can read and write, which is good. And so, given the fact that you can get to practically any paper in here that you need, and you're able to bypass any of the locks, yeah, you're able to find roughly the papers that you need. And if you need to forge some signatures, you can do that.
All right. Let's do that. And do we need to roll anything to do that convincingly, or?
Nope.
Okay. And so this is when? What day is this? The 22nd?
So this is the 22nd heading into the 23rd. So this would be.
And about what time?
So by the time that you would get done with the papers, I would say that it'd probably be around 1, 2 o'clock in the morning.
Okay. I wonder if we should wait till bright and early and head in, or whether we should wait until Thanksgiving and go in as, official envoys, trying to get our people out from the claws of the brutish American beasts.
I think Thanksgiving might be our best bet, just for less staffing, and then it makes sense for us to show up during a holiday that we don't celebrate.
Let's do it.
All right. So you wait through the 23rd, and then what time on Thanksgiving morning are you going to go to the police station?
I'd say maybe 10 o'clock.
Yeah, that sounds good.
10 o'clock?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. So, all right. So moving back to the group inside the police station. So Tuesday passes by. You're locked in with about 6 other individuals. 3 of which reek of booze.
Oh, no.
One is going on incoherently to themselves. And then 2 others keep eyeing you, one of which says, "So what are you in for?"
Good question.
We're in for murder. And then Mickey just stares him down. I'm not lying. We are here for murder.
Make either a speaking check or a prowess-based rapport check.
So it was a speaking check?
Yeah.
I don't do that. Okay, so I got prowess though. I can do a rapport-based prowess check. Am I rolling or are you rolling?
So witches versus trolls.
Trolls.
All right. So what are you doing? Are you doing the rapport-based prowess check?
Yeah.
Okay. So what is your rapport? 1? Okay. As you go on about, yeah, I'm in here for murder, he says, "Oh, really? This should be fun." And he just smiles at you. And the whole rest of the time that day, he's just sitting back. And
you want to fight? I got fists and cuffs.
I'll let you have the first swing.
I'm gonna take a swing at him.
Oh boy.
Here we go.
Witches, dwarves, or trolls?
Witches.
All right. All right, and yeah, so you hit him. What's your fitness?
6.
Seriously?
I'm not kidding.
Oh wow.
I'm the himbo of all himbos. I don't do anything else. I hit people with rocks and I punch people. And I just come up with bullshit stories. That's all I do.
You just slam right into him, and he takes, and he's like, well, been a while since somebody hurt me. All right. And he says, all right.
Mickey's just dancing around. Like,
roll initiative. Well, okay. Which is
I don't know how to roll initiative. But...
Which is dwarves or trolls?
What?
Which is dwarves or trolls?
Dwarves.
Okay. All right. So you get to go first.
I'll whack him again.
Yeah. All right. So which is dwarves or trolls?
Witches.
All right. All right. And you slam into again. All right. I'm done. I'm done.
I thought so. Then he just sits. They sit back down. I mean, they probably weren't expecting it because Mickey's like not that tall, like only like maybe 5'4".
Yeah. He's done. He doesn't get more problem. You're there. All right. So you move on through to the 23rd, and you start to move into the evening of the 23rd. And
I'll just have been explaining to Dr. Baggins that you have to establish dominance when you're in prison, like right off the bat, or they never stop messing with you.
And so, as you're sitting there, one of the officers comes around and says, "Yeah, Reverend, they're back here."
Reverend.
And an individual comes back to where all of you are. Maybe gentleman, maybe in his early 30s, late 20s, and very clean cut looking, and wearing a nice suit, button up shirt with a tie. And as he looks all of you over, he says, I hear that I hear that we may all have been in a bit of trouble. My wife, out of the kindness of her heart, has decided to make an early Thanksgiving dinner for all of you. Would you mind having some turkey and dressing and mashed potatoes for Thanksgiving dinner?
I mean, how many days have we been in? Are they going to charge us formally, or like?
You've been in a day and a half.
Oh, we got 12 hours left. Why would she want to make us turkey?
Because the good Lord instructs us that we are to be kind to prisoners and immigrants, travelers, the poor, the needy.
Mm-hmm.
And, sir, have you ever felt that you had a need? That you were hungry or tired?
Yeah, I felt that I don't know, a little bit ago. We slept for 2 days. Yep, I was pretty tired.
Yeah.
Currently.
I'm hungry every 2 hours, so.
Some of my snacks.
So we'll go ahead, and the officer will, if you'd like, something more than what you've been eating here. And he wheels in a small.
Yeah, floor bread is not my friend.
He says, yeah, we've got turkey, we've got dressing, we've got mashed potatoes, we've got stuffing.
And drooling.
we've got
Mm-hmm.
potatoes. So, and we've also got some cake. So,
Mickey's very excited. Just
Sounds
food.
amazing.
and don't know whenever any of you get out, if you want, our church would be more than happy to put some of you up if you have a need.
And
My friend's a
Same need.
doctor.
what was your name?
Reverend Markham,
Thank you.
Marcus Markham.
You know what?
Me too.
In
That's-
hindsight, we could have just stayed on the boat. Probably. But that's okay.
Alan never invited us.
That's. Oh, you didn't even know there was a boat. Whoopsies.
And so Reverend Markham leaves the food there.
Mm-hmm.
That all of you are given about an hour to eat.
Mm-hmm.
And then once you eat, the tray is taken away.
Mm-hmm.
There's one big platter with all this food.
Was there silverware?
We
No.
hungry hippoed it.
No silverware for you. You already know I'm trying to copy silverware.
Yeah, I'm silverware. I mean, seriously.
Where the
Yeah.
the
There.
bones? You can make a shiv out of a bone.
I know.
Make a shiv out of a bone. A
Helen is
wishbone
grabbing
shiv.
handfuls of food. Is just grabbing handfuls of the food and just stuffing her face.
Yep.
All right. So it gets to be, we've got 4 minutes left as we move from the 23rd into the 24th. It gets to be about 8:30 in the morning, a little bit before. Edgar and Lakshmi are preparing their plan. I assume at this point that you're starting to travel into the city. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're starting to travel to the police station from the airfield. And wouldn't you know it, you hear a siren that sounds like it's coming from the airfield.
I guess we better turn around.
Oh no!
It wasn't me.
And
I got
you
an alibi this time.
go ahead and
Solid.
make an awareness check, prowess-based awareness check for both of you.
2.
Okay.
I have a 1.
Wait a minute. So, witches, dwarves, or trolls?
Witches.
Dwarves.
Okay. So, witches, dwarves, or trolls, both of you notice, and Edgar notices this first, but you notice airships that are coming in from the north,
Huh.
and they are very definitely Canadian. And you notice as you look and you see these airships that are coming in, you also see, oddly enough, what look to be these silvery metallic balls that are dropping from the sky. As these metallic balls are dropping from the sky, right whenever they get level with the airships that are coming in from the north, they streak straight toward the airships, rip through the balloons, and these balls continue just streaking on as the airships erupt into flames and begin to crash toward the city.
Whoa.
You hear bombs going off. As you are watching, you notice that several of you notice at least a dozen of these things, and a couple of these metallic balls, as they streak past, a little platform opens up on them, and I would say probably about decent bomb size objects roll out of these platforms and fall all over the city. And wherever they go, they hit, city erupts into flames. You start to notice people running and screaming, "Some on fire," around you. And several individuals that are in your general vicinity start immediately streaking toward their homes, screaming things like, "Oh my gosh, my kids, my wife, husband, my family."
I just want to say that Mickey had a really good point when they were like, everything's on fire here. Why aren't you doing something about that? Just saying.
And so, needless to say, before we wrap this up for next time, one of the places where these metallic balls slam into buildings and things catch on fire is the Four Corners.
Okay.
That's not where we currently are in jail, is it?
Mm-hmm.
See, I am outraged. I am outraged that they didn't listen to me. Just because I can't read and write does not mean that my opinions are not valid, okay?
Just because I can't read and write doesn't mean I'm dumb.
Yeah. And also, why aren't you doing something about the fire stuff? Everything keeps erupting in fire. That's a problem.
And with that, we will close here and pick it up in 2 weeks, guys.
Oh my god.
Bye.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Okay, well,
Everything's on fire. This is fine. It's fine.
everything's on fire and it's all
That's
terrible.
fine.
Especially since we're in a cage in a building that's on fire.
it's yeah. We're coming to your rescue.
Yeah.
I'm okay with the events unfolding.
No.
Cal is like, "Where's my whiskey? Can I get that back?" We're all
Maybe.
gonna burn.
Maybe eventually. Thank you everyone for joining us. We have our first brunch and brood on Sunday. If you want to come chat and hang out and ask questions about things and Sad Vampire Boyfriend and stuff, SVB will be back on Tuesday again with more from the Red Veil that we finally got to see this week. And before we go, we are going to be rating a channel tonight, so I'm just gonna click that right there. So feel free to hop on there. And until next time, have a good week.